Now for the track guide. Guys, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out my course in the video description. Now going into the track guide itself, for turn 1 my reference for braking is number 1, and notice that I changed the brake bias from the fixed setup to 53.8. I think you can still go lower, like 53.0, and it will still be fine. But right now at number 1 I'm applying the brakes, and you want to brake mostly in a straight line. You want to first point the car to go diagonally towards the curb, but then keep the steering wheel mostly straight. Like if you look right now on the steering wheel, it's not perfectly straight, but still you don't want to brake and turn too much. You just want to point the car towards the curb, then maintain more or likely like 0 degrees on the steering wheel. And then you will, as you trail brake more, you can release more the brakes. But what you want to do is basically time the peak pressure with a low steering wheel angle. And now when just trail braking into the corner, you just want the car to push a bit deeper from the first apex, because this long corner is like double apex. This is basically how you're gonna treat it. So the first apex is gonna be this one right here, and then you want to the car to track out wider, but not all the way to the left side. And then when you push the throttle, you will apex again at this second curb. But don't go on it, don't push your tire on the curb. If you do that, you will just run wide. So apex at the white line, maybe slightly touch the beginning of the curb, but don't go completely over it to the grass. The line will be worse. And now on the exit, you should be here if you're like really pushing. So all the way to the left side here, you can use the curb. Now you'll try to bring the car to the center of the track. If you're really at the limit, pushing it all the way to the right side to the white line won't be possible. And for this corner, the moment that I have the car like in the center of the track, that's the moment where I'm applying the brakes. I'm braking, and here it's a longer trail braking zone than you think. So notice, still on the brakes, still trailing 6%, and then going on throttle. So you have to stay on the brakes a bit more than you think. But going on throttle is quite early, because you really want to cut this curve like this. This is key. Like going very close to the grass, taking a late apex, and on the exit, the car should be, look, it's not completely glued to the white line on the left side, but it's not in the center of the track either. It's in the center left. This is what you need. You really have to make this corner right here flat out. If this corner right here is not flat out, then you will have like a hard time gaining, because now it's basically a straight up until the chicane. So again, in order to make this work, you need to cut here like this. If you cut here a lot, then you'll be let's say in the center left, and then before turning into the right side, you're gonna push the car just a tiny bit more towards the left. Then you will turn into the right-hander, keep the throttle pinned, and don't cut this curb. Don't touch it. Just touch the white line. If you hit the curb, you will shave a bit of speed, you will scrub a bit of speed. And now using all the track. And for the chicane, this is tricky. My reference for braking is just before the tree, or at the tree on the left side. So if I just go back a bit, there's this tree here. At the tree, I'm applying the brakes. You want to brake hard in a straight line. Notice that I'm going to 100% on the braking. Then whenever I feel that the tire is locking up, I'm instantly dropping it. But you really have to brake hard here. It's a hard braking zone. You really want to shave the speed off quickly. You can use this part on the curb to put your left tire on it. This will just open up the corner a tiny bit more. And then when you're trail braking into the corner, it's super important to get close to this red sausage curve near the curbs, but also to push the throttle early. Notice that at this point in time, I'm already back on gas. This is key, because if you will push the throttle a few meters later, then you will just lose a lot of time. From this point onward, from this throttle application up until turn 1, this is basically a big straight. This is the biggest straight of the track. So the most important thing here, it's not the entry speed, it's how early you can go on throttle. Going earlier on throttle will make the straight even longer. So I'm going on the gas here, and notice that I'm building up initially, and then I'm going flat out. Like I'm not stamping in from the get-go, because I need a bit of modulation initially to make sure I just don't run into the curbs. And now here it's gonna be tricky, but you have to get very close to this. Like this is risky, but this is how you gain to this is how you get to these lap times. And there's still like 2/10 more in this lap. Like you can gain almost a tenth here if you're even more aggressive, also on entry. But overall, I think this lap can be improved with 2/10 if you risk it more. Obviously, risking it more, it's more risky. But you really have to force yourself here to be as early as you can on throttle and get as close as you can to this red sausage curve. And from now it's just basically a straight, but just a few pointers. Here, bring all the car to the left. Don't touch this curve at all. If you will touch it, you will scrub speed. So look, I'm apexing very close to like the beginning of the curve. I'm really kissing the white line and the curb a bit, but I'm not going on top of it. You will arrive here if you do it properly. Don't force the steering wheel more than you need. So minimizing the steering wheel input is how you gain like 0.02 into this flat out corners. Now for the last one, stay all the way to the white line, and when you apex, again, don't touch this curb, don't hit it, don't go on top of it. You will shave speed. And while you're cornering and you arrive here all the way to the left, when you're turning right to take the right hander, find the minimum steering wheel angle. This is how you gain time. Like you can gain 0.05 into those two flat out corners, free lap time, if you're focusing on steering less and having light hands on the steering wheel so that you won't force it too much. Because every time you're adding even 1 degree of steering angle, you're scrubbing like a bit of speed. So in order to carry the most amount of speed into these straights, you have to steer less. There's gonna be a point where steering less won't turn the car enough, so you will miss the corner. But you want to experiment with steering less here, because this is the only thing that you can do to gain time into these corners. And in short, that's the track guide. I hope you have a nice week around here. Again, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out the course. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.